Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will be talking about a point made by this content creator, Jalen. In her video, she talks about the H&M situation that happened with the little girl who had her natural hair in the photo shoot, and people did not like the way her hair was styled. I encourage you to go watch the whole video. We will not be talking about the H&M situation specifically, rather we will be going over the issues we face when it comes to our natural hair and how society sees it and how we as Black people see it. When it comes to societal beauty standards, they are inherently different depending where you live, but I think we can all agree that there are certain universal standards that are centered around Eurocentric beauty because of the effects of colonialism. Eurocentric beauty standards refer to standards that favor European features, for example, fair skin, straight hair, or a small nose. So how is this rooted in colonialism? When many European countries colonized majority of the world, a common theme amongst these countries was to develop prejudices against those who had features that did not resemble the features that are the norm in those cultures. So from there, we then got quite a few isms that were developed, such as racism, featureism, texturism, and colorism. I will quickly go over these isms. So racism is the inability or refusal to recognize the rights, needs, dignity, or value of people of a particular race or geographical origin. Featureism is a prejudice towards those with certain facial features that do not fit the set standards. So an example would be a Black person being marked for having a wider nose compared to another Black person with a smaller nose who will be treated slightly better because she does not have the typical Black feature. Colorism is the discrimination against those with a darker skin tone within the same ethnic group. Finally, we have texturism. So this is the premise that hair textures that are of looser curl patterns or closer to hair white people have, or just straight hair in general, is more acceptable. So the conclusion for all these isms is the closer to white you are, the better. As long as you don't resemble Black, you're good. So my channel is focused on everything with regards to natural hair, and so I will be more focused on texturism, but I will still talk about the other isms that are parasites within the Black community. Now that we know all the isms and where they come from, how do they cause us problems within the Black community? You would think that with the knowledge that we have about the types of discrimination and prejudices we face, we would shun the societal beauty standards because they are clearly against everything that is Black or resembles Blackness. The Black community would reject these standards and we would form our own based on our diverse features, but unfortunately, that is not the case. I want to mention that when I say the Black community, I am referring to every single Black person on planet Earth, because these issues are not just happening in the US but are present in other parts of the world. The conversation, however, by my understanding, was started in the US, and I want to take this moment to give credit where credit is due. A lot of uncomfortable conversations that us Black people need to have but avoid are often started by Black American women. Unfortunately, they are often ridiculed and called sensitive, or they are just making things up for attention, which we all know is not true. For instance, the natural hair community. I am South African, but everything I learned about taking care of my natural hair has been from Black American content creators. The issues with featureism, texturism, and colorism, these are things that are present in my country as well as many other African countries, and we see Africans partake in that behavior, but we never addressed how horrible those behaviors were, even though some of us could feel that this is wrong, and we rarely spoke up about it until the conversations around these topics were started and popularized by Black American women. So I just wanted to shine the light on this, and Black American women are part of the reason why I wanted to start posting more commentary type videos, because I want people in my country to have these conversations too. Let's talk about the natural hair community and the standards that some Black people have when it comes to natural hair. If anyone tries to deny that a lot of Black people actually hate coily textured hair and texturism doesn't exist, I don't know what to tell you. You're probably high on something, because it does.
Black people don't like Black hair. hair. And I will say that one more time. Black people do not like black hair. Let me specify it a little bit more. Black people don't like black women's hair. Black women don't like black women's hair. I don't even know where to start with this.
I can't tell you how many comments I have seen on videos from women with predominantly type 4 natural hair, especially 4C hair, say my hair could never, or get upset that their hair doesn't turn out the same way that the 3C curls turned out. They always feel the need to compare their hair to the looser textures, and it's annoying at this point because we have seen so many videos of women with type 4 hair pull off beautiful hairstyles and grow their hair long. I have also noticed that nowadays the stereotypes are not coming from outside the black community. They are being perpetuated by other black people. Some black people still believe we can't grow long hair unless you are of mixed descent. There are still people who refer to certain curl types as the good hair. And there are people who continue to uphold the racist standards that were set back in the colonial era. You also see it in the way some of the black people treat darker skinned women. You refer to them as masculine, and then lighter skinned women, you refer to them as feminine. And some of you only find light skinned women attractive just because they are light skinned. And going back to the topic of natural hair, 4C hair is only okay when black men have it, but black women can't be attractive with that same hair. Now, I want you to understand that I'm not saying you can't have a preference for whatever, but my issue is when you start talking negatively about the people you don't find attractive. If you don't find black women who have a certain skin tone beautiful or don't like their natural hair, then go date your type and leave everybody else alone. Don't talk about them or don't even think about them. The problem we face in the black community is that black people expect other black people to not have black features. There's a recent video by Queen Chioma, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, where she goes over how black people were talking about Glorilla and how she is undesirable. And I think you can all agree that the reason why some people are saying that is because she has a wider nose, which is a feature found predominantly in our gene pool. This was very interesting because you would think since she's light-skinned, she would be popular for her looks, but black people keep trying to find something about a black person, especially a black woman, to dislike. And in Glorilla's case, it would be her nose. If we take a look at someone like Anakiai, again, I apologize for mispronouncing her name, a model with features that most people wouldn't classify as black, even though as black people we know how diverse we are, especially in the African continent. Some black people call her ugly because of her dark skin. Doja Cat has 4C hair. I prefer the term coily, but I use 4C because I want you to know the exact texture of her hair I'm referring to, because coily isn't as popular of a term yet. Hopefully as time goes on it will be. But Doja Cat has 4C hair, and she had spoken up before she cut her hair in one of her lives that she hated her hair, and other black people would comment negatively about it too and laugh. Black people saying coily hair looks like pubic hair and then expecting the rest of the world to like our hair is very baffling to me. People expect a light-skinned mixed girl to have looser curls, but if a dark-skinned mixed person with looser curls pops up, then the problem is that anti-black people would have with her would be her skin tone. So black people are the first to criticize how a black person looks, whether it be their skin, hair, or facial features, even if they themselves share the exact features. I find it really weird that you will put down someone who looks like you or shares features that you have. Some of you really think that if you procreate with a different race, you will finally be accepted by others. But unfortunately for you, it does not change the fact that you are still black and will always be black. The problem I notice when it comes to black people with natural hair is not your texture. It's the fact that you don't know how to properly take care of your hair and style it properly. That is why some of you think natural hair is difficult or ugly. The solution to this problem is simple. Start following people who look like you, and that way you'll learn how to take care of your natural hair. And follow people who don't talk down on themselves, because that is not very productive. We will never move forward in life if we keep the negative energy, and society will never accept our hair unless we start accepting it. So many of you will put so much effort into learning how to do makeup, learning how to style your wigs, doing all sorts of diets to lose weight, but will never put in that same energy into learning how to care for your natural hair and style it. You are so impatient when it comes to your hair, but will watch hours and hours of videos for weeks on how to style a wig. The issue here is not that society hates our hair. The issue here is not the texture of your hair. The real issue is you. You put yourself down, and because you hate the way you look, you end up talking nonsense about other black people. If you hate yourself, please hate yourself privately. Don't bring other black people into this. As black people, we really need to start appreciating our own features. And since black people are by far the most diverse in terms of appearance, each of us should be setting our own standards of beauty based on our blackness. I mentioned earlier that the present standards are against what resembles blackness, so why would we want to adhere to those standards when we will never meet them regardless of what we do? The standard of beauty for natural hair should be being the healthiest version of your hair. The standard of beauty for our natural hair should be all different hairstyles we have been doing for centuries that other people are trying to imitate but fail miserably. The standard of beauty for us should be how versatile our hair is. I don't know about you, but for me, I am not looking to be accepted by society. I'm not trying to fit into whatever standards that don't allow me to be in my natural state. My advice is to find people that have similar features to yours, whether that be hair, skin, facial structure, whatever that may be. Find those people that look like you and learn from them. I don't want to be around people who are constantly negative or follow people who always complain about what their natural hair can't do. I find it very tiring at this point. And so sometimes I wonder if some of you genuinely want to get help with learning about how to take care of your hair, or you just want to complain because in 2024 there are so many creators with tightly coiled hair who have healthy hair at different lengths, and they share so many different routines and products you can try. Aren't you tired of feeling helpless? What does complaining do for you? Because it's clearly not growing your hair. It's not making you feel better about yourself either, and it definitely hasn't magically made you fit the Eurocentric beauty standards, so I am confused as to why you continue to complain. Yes, society has created certain standards, but why do you continue to uphold them when you clearly see that they are negatively affecting you? It's time you take accountability for the role that you're playing by keeping these standards alive in the black community. If that's not you, let me know your thoughts in the comment section about what makes you the most irritated when it comes to certain black people and their lack of accountability for pushing texturism. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you retain as much length as possible before the year ends.